We're back here on the campus of North Carolina Central University talking about jazz music. And one of the things that I'd like to talk about is what's happening when you're listening to jazz. I often have students say, I don't understand what's going on. It sounds like the musicians are just doing whatever they feel like doing. Like, I don't get it. And, well, one of the things that you want to know is jazz music needs everyone to participate while the music is being played. It's a little different from other genres of music where, let's say if you go to a classical concert and there are large portions of the music that are being performed and you have to wait for your applause until that segment or that big portion is done. And it's maybe considered disrespectful to interrupt with applause or any response from the audience while the musicians are on stage. Well, that's very different in jazz music. Jazz music, when you're listening, there is a role that the audience plays and there's a role for the performers. And this concept is very African in nature, where everyone is responsible for what happens in creating the collective experience. Everyone participates in making the rhythm on stage and with the musicians. Everyone participates, that's part of the experience, with their applause, their emotional, how they love it. They can call out, shout out. It's like a party. It's a dance. It's a celebration of life. It's a celebration of the music. All of these things are happening at once. Well, so your role as a listener while the music is performing is to let the musicians know how you feel, that you enjoy what's happening. You can sing along, clap along, dance along. Jazz was a dance music in the times of the swing bands. It was a music where people would go on the weekends and dance to the music of the big bands of Duke Ellington and Count Basie. So because things are a little different nowadays, the understanding of just what's supposed to happen while you're listening to jazz music is a little different. And you need someone to kind of, take away the myths and the mystery of it. So the next time you're listening to jazz music, we expect you to join in. If you know the songs, you can hum along and clap. If you like one of the things that any of the musicians is doing and soloing, we want you to applaud and let them know. We're going to demonstrate a little bit of that in a few minutes. But jazz is a party, and we want you to join in. It's fun, and if it's swinging and it's good, we want to know it. So that's jazz fact number one in respect of listening to jazz. That jazz is a conversation between the musicians on stage and the audience. The second jazz fact about listening to jazz is that there is a conversation going on the stage with the musicians amongst each other. Well, let's see. A really good analogy might be if you were at a lunch table or a dinner table with your friends. Let's say there are four of you. Person A, person B, person C, person D. And let's say you all come in and you begin excitedly talking about a movie you just saw. And you begin talking about all the things that were in the movie. And did you see that? Oh, wow, I loved when Denzel did this. Or I just loved when Meryl Streep said that. Okay, so you're all talking about the same movie. Well, you're sitting next to person D, perhaps. And you reach over and you say, hey, I love those earrings you're wearing. And you two begin to talk about the earrings. Well, person A and person C, they're still talking about the movie, but you're all at the same table. Or they say, yeah, those were like earrings that I saw in the movie that Janet Jackson had on. So you're still part of the same conversation, although you're having a little side conversation. And then the person across the table overhears you mention something about earrings and starts to go off on a tangent maybe, get on a soapbox and say, I don't like earrings. I think that they help increase the national debt, or something like that. And you all start to just listen to person A go on and on and on and on about how they feel so emphatically about one particular point. Well, that's what's happening on stage with musicians playing jazz. Your bass player will provide a bottom, a foundation of sound. Your drummer, we call the band leader because he helps direct traffic, so to speak, with everything that's happening between the sections of the songs and between the soloists and setting up new sections to start and happen, bringing attention to them for everyone. So he's a guide of sorts. The piano player or the guitar player, they're responsible to keep the harmony going and to provide a bed and a structure for everything that's happening in the song. Although at any moment, any one of the people, the bass or guitar, the drummer, the bass player, and or the soloist can lead the conversation in a different direction or bring it back all together. They can have conversations together or conversations separately, but all the time they're following a very organized structure. So this is a jazz fact, that jazz is a highly organized, structured environment that the music happens in. All the while, there's the freedom of expression and creativity, not only expected from the musicians, but from the audience. One of the things you want to remember when you're listening to jazz, we don't feel as jazz musicians that we are smarter or better or we know something you don't know. A lot of times we're creating and experiencing something for the very first time and we're excited to share it, and you see that excitement on stage. But we're encouraged and we play better when you participate. So you're part of the jazz music happening as well.